Yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
GMS Charlotte. Before we get started, we want to go ahead and say, call like Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kadadash. A double honor to the elders and the apostle, great millstone that taught us true well. A much respect to you, brothers, that Christian's truth, all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
So we're just going into Psalm 64th chapter, and if you read through it, it's describing the wicked, so we're going to start with Job 9 and 24, because you got to ask yourself, who is the wicked, and it's a saying that they got in the world, follow the money. And I did a video the other day with, the beloved brother Priest Amar, and basically he was saying how all these different companies like Disney, General Electric, and companies as such, they all their own entity and company, but they all go back to the elites, So you gotta follow the money. All right. Job 9, 24.
Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So if it wasn't a so-called white man, who is it? Just going into the meaning of this verse, it say he covered the faces of the judges thereof. You go to verses like First Maccabees, First Maccabees 3 and 48. He covered the faces of Jake, and chiefly starting with the Most High, to Yahweh Shah on down to the prophets. He made them look like so-called white men. You got First Maccabees 3 and 48. If you can't get it, all good. But basically, it is going into, it said that the heathen sought to paint on the pictures of the prophets, basically in the likeness of their image, And as you see, in iconoclasm, there was all so-called white men. You ain't see Moab, you ain't see Ammon, you ain't see no other nation paint themselves as the prophets, But just going into Psalm the 64th chapter, you read the first verse, Baba Shah.
Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
It said hide me from the secret counsel. It said the enemy too, right? So we got enemies, man. It ain't like we all equal, you know what I'm saying? They push the same thing like back in the Tower of Babel, that everybody should speak one language, But we're not equal. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 7 and 6 that we was made separate. So we got enemies, And chiefly going to Psalm 83. You put it out real fast, Brother Shaw. You got something?
Well, I got a definition for that word insurrection. It says a violent uprising against an authority or government, and that's what these wicked are doing, man. They're uprising against the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and ultimately they're trying to rise up against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
But it's going into the insurrection,
So Psalm chapter 83, in verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And going into that great pride, going back to Psalm 64, it said the insurrection. They lifted up their head in great pride, and they tried to blaspheme the name of the Lord, by covering up his image, by covering up his image, and then blaspheming his prophets, after that,
Continuing on, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right, and that crafty counsel going to, it's going to get it.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance.
Right, and that's what we see, The scriptures say that it's no end to all the people, so they successfully, they haven't successfully cut us off as being a nation, but they pushed forth, the covering up of our true heritage, our lineage. They started calling us by names, which are in the curses. Black, Latino, Mexican, Native American, and things like that. That's examples of how they tried to, what did it say? Break us from being a nation. That the name of Israel would maybe no more in remembrance. Okay. But you keep going. That was it?
Thanks. Let's see. Verse 5, Psalm 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They consulted together with one consent. So that means that all these heathen had a part to do in the oppression of Jake. You know, first and foremost, starting with the next verse, gonna say, you keep going.
Okay. They are confederate against it. The tabernacles of Edom.
So, can you get that word confederate, Bible Kushal? Oh, Salah. Well, you ain't gotta get it. If you look at the word confederate, con means, you break the word down, con means with. You know, so they work together, you know what I'm saying, to put Jake down, you know. You said
Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot.
Yeah, so that's good. But basically the point being that, you know, Esau, Edom, it said Esau and it said Amalek. So it said Esau twice because this devil has, it said that the scriptures say that it go into basically how he, you know, our punishment was done, but he helped to forward the, what did it say?
For their affliction.
For the affliction, you know, because he went overboard, you know. That's why this devil's going to get 1,000 years of slavery, you know.
And that word confederate, it means joined by an agreement or treaty.
And that agreement and treaty going to Psalm 83 and Psalm chapter 2. You get that, Bible Kushal? Okay, just going into the back to the topic, you know, Psalm 64 and verse 1. We got enemies, man, you know.
It's Psalm chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage?
Why the heathen rage? Why they in the uproar, you know? Why they, you know, tight about a situation? You keep going.
And the heathen imagine a vain thing.
And that vain thing going into Psalm 83 in that NWO.
The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together.
Psalm 83, they all confederate, you know.
They take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed.
So they put themselves up chiefly against the Lord first and foremost, and then his men.
Saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision.
Hey, so the Lord is in the heavens laughing at, you know, the heathen. You know, he got them in derision because Isaiah 46 and 10 say that the Lord counsel is going to stand, you know. So this devil, the audacity of this devil, you know, is making the Lord laugh, you know, because he feel like whatever he do on the left-hand side is going to work, you know. But that was it. We go to that Psalm 64.
I got a quick one. This is Psalm chapter 37 and verse 12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon them with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Right, so, you know, these wicked, you know, their days are numbered, man. Like it says in Job, you know, they've reached bounds that they cannot pass. And it also says that, it's like, let me go there.
And then it's going into that too. Remember we had a Bible study the other week, and basically, this devil is doing something called Project Looking Glass, and each time they do the Project Looking Glass, they get the same result, no matter what circumstances they put in there. They get the same result. So this devil is at bounds that he cannot pass, you know, because the Lord's will is going to stand. And that's what's going to happen. You know.
Now, just speaking on that, this is Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right, so you know these devils got expiration date, man. You know their time has already been numbered, man. We're just waiting for that clock to hit zero.
Let's
see.
Psalm 64.
Okay. Back in Psalm chapter 64 and verse 3. who wet their. Well, I'll start from verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who wet their tongue like a sword.
So they wet their tongue like a sword. They sharpening the sword. When you sharpen the sword, you basically preparing yourself for battle. So that's going into how they prepare themselves to come up against Jake. You know,
they bend their bows to shoot. Their arrows, even bitter words.
And them bitter words, them bitter words go into basically, you know, their laws and legislations. You know, they speak nothing but death. You know, the scripture go into basically the words of their mouth being poison. You keep going.
They shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not.
And just going into them shooting at, you know, Jake and fear not. You got it said it in secret, right?
Yeah.
You got programs like eugenics. You got programs like eugenics, in each neighborhood of Jake. You know, they got fast foods. You know, with the fast foods, you know, they putting different GMOs and poisons into them foods. Yeah. You know, you got the bread and circus. You know, the bread and circus is nothing but a distraction to keep you from what you truly need to be focusing on, which is this truth.
God, they do a lot of things behind the scenes that are destroying our people, man. You know, that it will never make the mainstream, and if it does, it's because they wanted it to, man. And ultimately, the Lord wanted them to. Continuing on, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They consume of laying snares privily. They say, "Who shall see thee?" They say, "Who shall see them?" You know, so they're setting up these traps for Jake, man. You know, all these different snares and you know, traps to fall into that will lead to our destruction, man. You know, scriptures talk about how they know that if we don't have our power behind us, then we can be taken over. That's why they work so diligently to keep us separate from Yahweh Shem Shah.
Con, you at verse 5?
Okay.
You grab Isaiah 29 and 15, Baruch Shah.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who would see us? And who knoweth us?
So this devil feel like the Lord ain't seeing them, you know. But this is the answer that, you know what I'm saying, the Lord has. You got park for the fest. You keep going.
Yeah. Verse 16.
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
you get up.
Oh yeah, these devils, man. They do all these things behind the scenes, like we're saying, man. They think that how about Shema Shai can't see them, man? But like scriptures say, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. So, you know, nothing can be hidden from the Lord, man.
You grab 2 Maccabees 7 and 31, Baruch Shah. Like the brother going into, basically, you know, nothing's here from the Lord. You know, Ecclesiastes 10 and 20, you know, the angels take report of everything that's going on, you know, right? Whether it be a good or a bad report, you know. So nothing is hid from the eyes of the Lord, you know.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7. You said 31?
Okay.
Chapter 7, verse 31. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews.
Who is this talking about Esau Edom? This chapter right here is going into Antiochus Epiphanes, but it can be applied to Esau Edom as well as a whole.
God shall not escape the hands of the Most High.
So the Lord see everything that you're doing, Esau. You're not going to escape the hands of the living power, you know.
Yeah.
That was it. You go to verse 6. Psalm.
Like in Psalm chapter 64, verse 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search.
Hey, so they search out iniquities and they accomplish a diligent search. You know, just I did a video the other day, but just going into that craftiness and him searching out iniquities. This devil, like, he'll torture people and then see how they respond, you know, through experimentation, and then he, you know what I'm saying, he knows how somebody responded to a certain thing, and you know that way the next time he does it, you know, he'll have success. You know, that goes into you finish that verse out.
Okay. So they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search.
They get the answer they was looking for.
both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
And that word deep goes into unsearchable. You know, it's no Esau's a true no limit soldier.
Okay.
Like brothers go into he the true no limit soldier. So there's no limit to the amount of wickedness that his devil's willing to take. You know, and slavery. You know, he was. You know, you would have a Jake Mill. You know, not to get graphic, but he would nail his rod to like a post or something, and then do something to where he ran away. And you know, but this devil's wicked.
Man.
You know.
God, I got this real quick. In Ezekiel 28, verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So, you know, just speaking on these devils, man, you know, they have not ultimate wisdom, but they have, you know, top level knowledge in evil and wickedness and witchcraft, man. That's why they can get away with the things that they've been doing for all these years, man. Because they've damn near perfected wickedness.
You go to verse 7.
Okay. It's Psalm 64 and verse 7. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded.
So just going into that arrow, you grab Job 20 and 23 and 24, bro. Because the Lord gonna shoot at this devil, you know, while he's eating, you know, because he gonna think that he can get off that NWO. You know, he gonna think that Psalm 83 finally worked for him, but you know, it's gonna come to naught.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly.
So when he about to accomplish that NWO.
Let me start 22. Job chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
So he gonna reach a level of difficulty. You know, that's why each time, like with the whole juice campaign, he had people coming up against him. You know, and then when they mandate that Karagma, the same thing. You know, just like verse 8 says, you got those truthers coming out, and they're basically spilling the beans on what's going on. That's why people ain't really trying to fuck with it. That's why he's going to be in straits.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
And the wicked, that word wicked goes into workers, which is chiefly Jake, you know. So the Lord going to put a spirit on Jake to get busy, you know, 2/3.
That's right. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon.
The iron weapon being Yahweh shot and the missiles.
And the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body.
Right.
Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall.
The glittering sword going to the ICBMs. You know, you go into the ICBMs, basically they say that they got a missile called Satan 2. It's called Satan 2, right? Yeah, Satan 2, but basically it can reach this side of the world or whatever side of the world in less, it said 15 minutes, right? Yeah, like 15 minutes.
Continuing on.
Shalom, shalom, yabashima shabrakta.
Shalom. Verse 26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret place. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle.
That was a point.
Okay.
Yeah. You go back to verse 8.
It's Psalm 64, verse 8. So they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
So it said they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. You know, you got these Edomite truthers coming out and, again, to reiterate, spilling the beans and stuff on, you know, the plans and the secrets of, you know, the elites, you know.
Okay. You know, you see all these, like the brother said, truthers. You know, even these Joe Sixpack Edomites have some level of quote unquote conspiracy knowledge. So all this devil's secrets are being exposed, man.
And just laying back on me, bro. Like I was at work the other day, and then dude, like I perceived him to be an Edomite, but basically he's like, yeah, I made a video the other day. I was like, oh damn, what was it about? He's like, I don't want to tell you. And I was like, all right. He's like, well, he put me to the side. He was like, yeah, well, the whole juice thing, you know, that whole thing is I got something to do with 5G. You know, they had 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, up to 6G. And that whole thing is connected with the juice, but then they coming out with that, you know what I'm saying? They coming out with that, the Karagna. You know, so they're showing you that, you know, Esau is hip, you know?
Right. Continuing on. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
And everybody seeing this devil's plan is fleeing away. You know, nobody wants anything to do with Esau Edom. You know, that's why since the devil, and mainly it's because this devil is being exposed on all levels. You know,
that's why a lot of these nations they'll come to America or Babylon the Great to build up their wealth, but then they'll leave and take it back to their own countries, man, because they can see the fall of this place coming, man.
You grab Isaiah 47, Baba Kushal. Start verse 1.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust.
God, come down and sit in the dust. You know, the rightful place of Esau Edom is dust, which represents confusion. You know, because he's a base man. That's his rightful place. You keep going.
O virgin daughter of Babylon.
It's called a virgin because it hasn't been touched. You know, you keep going.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne.
So the Lord is snatching Esau Edom's power seat from him. You know, that rulership seat.
O daughter of the Chaldeans.
It's called the daughter of the Chaldeans because they use heavy witchcraft. You know, we did a lesson the other day, and basically they use something called psychological operations. You know, where they study the human mind and stuff like that, but they also communicating with these different demons and stuff like that on the left hand side. So they use the left hand side heavy. You know.
Yeah. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. To make the millstones a socket. Take the millstones and grind mill. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh.
Right.
Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Hey, so Esau Edom is being exposed. You know, that's why they got to come out and be like, oh, well, no, we ain't trying. We don't want nothing to do with our history. You know, like they coming up with the critical race theory where they trying to remove history. They got to take brothers' videos down. You know, they got to censor certain things because they don't want nobody to know. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? But you know, now that you gonna be exposed. You know,
the true nature of these devils is being, broadcast in the forefront, man. I got a quick precept. It's Nahum chapter 3, and I'll start in verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, Babylon the Great, the mistress of witchcrafts, going back to the brother talking about how they're the Chaldeans, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. So, the whole world is seeing Esau get exposed, man. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So that Esau is going to be, the laughing stock of the world, man. They already are. You can see the way these other nations look at these American Edomites in particular, man. They're the laughing stock of the world. Nobody can take them seriously, man. And it shall come to pass that all that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Right. So all these places, all these other nations see the end of this Babylon society coming. So they're leaving, man. Like I said earlier, they're getting their wealth and their riches, and they're draining this economy and taking it over to their other nations, man. You see it with China, you see it with India, you see it with all these other nations, man.
Verse 9. Psalm 64.
Back in Psalm 64 and verse 9. And all men shall fear, and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing.
So it said, all men shall fear. Why they gonna fear? Could you grab Habakkuk 2 and 14, Baba Kushal? Because, you know what I'm saying, it said that in Psalm 64 and 9, the whole world is going to fear, or it said all men was going to fear, right?
Yeah.
That's because the Lord is going to carry out his judgments, you know. You go into that word fear, it basically means reverence, you know, a deep respect, you know. And, you know, how do you get that respect? You know, with Jake, you know, 2/3, they don't understand nothing until you know what I'm saying, you put some pain on them. That's what the Lord is going to bring, you know.
So 2 verse 4.
14.
Okay. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord.
So the earth is going to be filled with the knowledge of the glory, you know, the Lord's majesty of the Lord. You know, you keep going.
As the waters cover the sea.
As the waters cover the sea. You know, the waters being the truth and the sea being the people. It's going to spread, you know, that much. This knowledge is gonna cover each person. Each person is going to know about Yahweh Shema Shah, you know, whether they like it or not. All right? Yeah, you can get Psalms 9-16, Bible Shah. Because going back to Psalm 64 and 9, the point, it said that all men was going to fear and they was going to wisely consider. You know, what's going to make them wisely consider? You go ahead.
God, in Psalm chapter 9, verse 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executes.
The Lord is known by his judgment, you know. The Lord would carry out judgments when he took out the whole world and saved Noah and his family. You know, that was the Lord, and the whole world knew about it, yeah, even till now. You know, that's because the Lord is known by his judgment, you know. And when he carries out judgment, people are like, all right, yeah, nah, you know, Yahweh Shema Shah did that, you know. I'm not. They gonna walk righteously, you know.
You know, he's gonna make his name known, you know, in this world again, man. The same way after he brought down Egypt, and they knew him as Alashajah, man, that terrible demon-like power.
Right.
You know, that name is gonna ring bells again, man. Continuing on. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, Higayon Selah.
So the wicked is snared in the working of his own hands. I mean, this chapter, Psalm 64, is talking about the wicked. But he took it upon himself to enslave the Hebrews, you know, the Lord's people. You know, so Ecclesiastes 3:15, you grab that, Baba Kushak. Ecclesiastes 3:15, and then 2 Maccabees 7:31. They say the wicked is not going to escape the hands of God, you know. And this is why.
God. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And the Most High requireth that which is past.
Okay, so the Lord required that which is past, you know. So the things that Esau, Edom did in the past, you know, the Lord is he's gonna take into account what he did in the past, you know. And he gonna, you know, he gonna judge him for it.
That's right.
Look at verse 10 out of Psalm 64 and 10.
It's back in Psalm chapter 64, verse 10. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the
on ships, you know, they're gonna be giving all praises and honor to you. How about Shema?
God, this is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth.
Hey, so when the wicked is multiplied, transgression increaseth. You know, so you go into I think it's 1 John 3 and 4. You know, transgression is or basically sin is the transgression of the law. So it's going to be a whole bunch of sin when the wicked is multiplied. You know, we've seen that through the spread of westernization. You know, you said in latter part.
When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall.
And this is why this is why, going back to Psalm 64 and 10, this is why the righteous is going to be given glory to Yahweh Shema Shah, because we're going to see the fall of our enemy. Again, going back to verse 1, we got enemies, man. You know?
Let me get them, so. The fall of their enemies.
You know, and we seeing the fall of our enemies, you know. Starting with going back to Isaiah 47, you know, the Lord is exposing this devil, but everything this man is trying to bring into fruition, it's not working. You know, this man tried the Jews campaign, which that was like an experimentation to see who's going to give in to their plots and their plans. You know, but the Lord say that Matthew 24 and 24, if it was possible to deceive the very elect, you know, but my bad. It's not possible. You know, so the elect is not going to give in. The Lord said he got 7,000 men that's not going to bow the need to Baal. You know, and Lord willing, we be those men. You know.
It's Sirach chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy. In the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Right, so that's gonna be a joyous time, man. We're gonna rejoice in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai when we see Esau get brought down, man.
Right.
Lord, like let's say, Lord willing, we be of that elect number. That's gonna be a beautiful time.
You get Dan, you about to say something?
I just got one more say.
Okay. After that, can you pull Daniel? I think it's 7:25 or 8:25. Okay.
This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 15. It's like in chapter 16, verse 10. Glory ye in his holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek the Lord. Seek the Lord in his strength and his face continually. Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders and the judgments of his youth. Right, so, we're going to glory in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for the work that he's doing, man. And that work is him bringing down our enemies, man. Starting chiefly with Esau, Edom, and going down to these other heathen nations. We're going to give glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Come.
Let's see, continuing on. O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Lord your power. His judgments are in all the earth. Right, so he's going to be judging these heathens for what he's done to his chosen ones, man. So, hey, we're going to give ultimate glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for all this, man.
Come.
He said Daniel chapter 7.
7:25. Sure.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
So another reason why, we can be giving glory to the Lord is because we don't got no rest here. We worn out. Esau, like I said, the time of our punishment had an end, roughly paraphrasing, but he up for the affliction. So this devil's wearing us out. We tired of getting taxed. We tired of having to go to work and shit. But what else did it say? You get can you go back to Psalm 64 at the same Bible shop? Just run back through it.
Back in Psalm chapter 64, verse 10. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory.
We're going to be giving glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Another reason is Psalm 91, and can you get Psalm 91 Bible shop? Start at verse 1 and get at verse 5.
This is Psalm 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
And the secret place of the Most High is going into this truth, the scriptures, It said abide under the shadow, and you go into shadow, it basically means a defense, So we're gonna abide in the Lord's protection. Keep going.
Yeah. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power in him will I trust.
And to reiterate, a fortress, when you got a great kingdom, a fortress is something that provides protection. Back in the ancient days, they had like the big ass castles and stuff, but it provided protection. That's what the Lord is for us. The scriptures say that the Lord, the name of you about to go to it.
Yeah.
Because the Lord say that in Second Maccabees chapter 7, basically same thing in Sirach. Those that put their trust in him, they wasn't. Can I get it right here?
Got it. But I got that real quick. This Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So believing on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, having that faith, man, that's going to protect you during these times, man. That's that strong tower, that hedge of protection that's going to protect you, man.
This is Second Maccabees, chapter 7 and verse 30. Let me find it. You keep going though.
Okay. But yeah, just going into what the brother was saying, man. You know, having faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, being the ultimate gift, man. That's that protection that we need, man. We can't. There's nothing we can do in this world without the protection of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. Without that hedge, you know, you just left out here like 2/3, man. You know, and that's the last thing you want, man. You need that protection against, you know, what Esau has to come, man, because they're coming, they're bringing, you know, all their forces, man. You know, they're coming as a flood, the scriptures say.
That great wrath.
Yeah.
I'm almost to it. I don't see it, but basically it just goes into, it's never been a time period, you know, in the scriptures where somebody put their trust in the Lord and they was forsaken. You know, it's in Sirach, but it's also in Maccabees somewhere. But it's all good. But you keep going to that song.
Psalm 91, verse 3, or verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
The snare of the fowler. He's going to deliver us from the plans of the wicked. You know, that's anybody. You know, wicked Israelites. You know, Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathen.
He shall cover thee with his feathers.
Going back into that shadow, he's going to cover. What does a shadow do? You know, to stuff. You know what I'm saying? Outside, it covers it. You know, it's protection.
And he shall cover thee with his feathers.
Going into the chariots.
And under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Right.
It's like, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
Hey, and that's why the elect is going to be given our glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh Shema Shah, because he's going to cover them, you know, in the chariots. And the elect is going to be covered by the, what do you say, the missiles or the arrows. You know, the elect is going to be covered by the arrows, you know. You have something else, though?
No, that's all I had.
You know, but Lord willing, that was edifying. We can go ahead and close it out by saying, call her light Allah, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Karidash. A double honor to the elders and the apostle, great mercy on that taught us the truth well. Much respect to you, brothers out there, pushing the truth, who are righteous, and sincerely, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Abba, Baba.